this type of cactus here. It's called Sirio, and it is straight out of Dr. Seuss. Hi everyone, it is 2 months after the last video and I am in El Centro, California. Today is a really big day because I will be crossing into Mexico and starting the Latin America part of the trip officially. So as I mentioned before, the trip from Alaska down to the US was kind of a prelude, kind of work things out. And because of my injury in June, I didn't really have much time to spend exploring the US. I mean, I've been exploring the Western US for the last 20 years. And so I kind of just went as fast as I could. Now I'm in El Centro, gonna cross the border. So I'm here, of course, with Brisa, and underneath the tarp is Botas. As you can see, the tarp cover is a little bit too small for the bike. I accidentally brought the cover for my mountain bike and not for the motorcycle. So there is a motorcycle shop here in El Centro, so I'm gonna quickly stop in there before I head to the border, which is only like, I think 10 miles south of here. See if I can get an appropriately sized tarp that'll cover all of Brisa. It was really hard to get on last night just to try to cover it up. There's Botas. He is all set to go. Excited? So I'm gonna get the bags put on here and head down to that motor shop and then hit the road. And from then on, it's just down Baja to La Paz, which is gonna take me 3 or 4 days. You may have noticed a huge amount of luggage I have now. This is because this pack here and this backpack are all my canyon gear for the rendezvous in Hidalgo, Mexico, near Mexico City. That's going to take place in about 3 weeks. And the only way to get it there with me was to bring it on the bike. Another thing that Brisa got was new tires. So these are Shinko 705 Dual Sports, so they should be better for, I don't know, dirt roads and whatnot that I'll find down south. Yeah, it's a lot of luggage on the bike and it's pretty bulky, but once I get to my house, then I'll take it off and then I'll just have the 2 Moscow bags and the toolbox in the back. All right, here we go into Mexico. And there's a long line to go back in the US. Typically, nothing to enter Mexico, especially Baja. You actually don't need a permit at all for your vehicle for the northern, well, I think now for the whole Baja Peninsula. But because I'm going to the mainland, I need to register the bike. And they only do that at Banjercito offices, and there's one just up here at. First day riding down Baja. I rode to about 4 hours down from the border. I rode from Mexicali to San Felipe, and then another couple hours south. And it's right after sunset. I found this eco lodge called Alfonsinos. It is very expensive for me. They said 3,500 pesos for the room, which is it's almost $175. But there really is no other option within 2 hours or so, about an hour and a half either direction. I wanted to make some time because I'm trying to get the ferry from La Paz over to the mainland on Friday. And from Mexicali, it's about 14 hours down to La Paz, which I'm trying to do in, what is it? 2.5 days? 3.5 days? Anyway, they also have a restaurant, so I hopefully will be able to get some dinner. In addition to the room. I am going to assume this is the place. Alfonsinas! So the place was pretty pricey, as I knew it would be. But it's really the only option. Whoa. The only option for in an hour and a half in either direction. So yeah, the room was 3,400. Oh, this bike is all over the place. It looks like I'm riding on mud. Damn. Jesus. I guess the tide came in? Thank goodness it wasn't like that last night. That was exactly like what caused me to have the accident in Alaska. Squirrely all over the place. It's all wet. I mean, it didn't rain last night. I wonder if the tide came in. So, back on the road. And today I'm going to try to make it to Mulegé, which is, I think, just about 6 hours from here. That'll put me in a good spot to catch to... I think Mulegé is about another 5 or 6 hours from La Paz, where the ferry is. And I'll have all day tomorrow and the morning of Friday to make it there to take the ferry to the mainland. Gracias. I stopped here for a quick break because I wanted to point out this type of cactus here. It's called Cirio, C-I-R-I-O, and it is straight out of Dr. Seuss. They only grow here in Baja, and they have this kind of bulbous base that tapers down to a little tuft at the top. So it's a pretty funky little cactus, and where I am is actually the Valley of the Cirios. There's a sign on the road. Sometimes they tilt over and then up at the end, making them look a lot like they're straight out of Dr. Seuss. We also here have the rather insidious Cholla cactus. This cactus is incredible. Each of these barbs, each of these thorns is actually a barb on the end. And so when it goes in, it will hook and be very difficult to pull out. Furthermore, to keep them sharp from the blowing desert wind, they have this sheath of thin paper-like over the top of the barb to keep it from going dull when the sand blows. I'm trying to pull one off here without getting stuck. Oh. And then the whole thing, this will go into you and like break off with multiple barbs. I didn't mean to pull it off there, but yeah. I'm trying to get one of these off. Oops, see. They're designed to just pull right off. Oop. Even that little one stuck in my thumb. Let's see if I can get one here. So if you tear off this paper sheath, there we go. Then this, you can't really see it, but you can feel it. It's a barb, or many small barbs, so when it goes into an animal's skin, or your skin, it hooks in there. It's hard to pull out. It looks like just walking around, I have picked one up on my boot. Oh my goodness. Cholla! And we are back to Brisa y Botas. You guys are ready to go, right? All right, that was a full day's worth of riding from Alfonsinas to Mulegé. It was just under 6 hours. I did take a lot of breaks though, so I actually don't really feel that sore at all. I reached out to my friend Carla, who has a place here in Mulegé, and she wrote back and said that she unfortunately won't be coming down until around the first week of November, which is a couple weeks from now. But she did recommend staying at Las Casitas Hotel. So I'm gonna go there and check it out. For Mulegé, it is about 6 hours or so to La Paz, where I'll take the ferry. I won't make it tomorrow, but I should easily make it for Friday, and I'll take that over to the mainland. Looks like they are draining something here. Not sure what. I just drove by these. It looks like mines. See if that's worth checking out later. Here is the Hotel Las Casitas. Let's see if they have any room. All right, this place is pretty nice. They did have a room available. I got here right behind another guy from California, and he needed me to translate for him. Typical tech check-in questions. Yeah, so here's my room. Oh, so much nicer than last night. And I think she said it was like 1,400 pesos, so that was about $75, I think. Los Menos, I don't know. I'll have to do the conversion, but I'll take it. And it's super quiet. Even though it's next to the road, it's down below, and it is really, you can't beat the view. So okay, here we have a map of Mexico. So I entered in Mexicali here. El Centro was only about 10 miles from there, from the border. I rode down here through San Felipe on to Alfonsinas, which was right about here on the Sea of Cortez, otherwise known as Gulf of California. The next day, I cut over to the main highway and kept riding down from one side of Baja to the other and stopped just outside of Santa Rosalia, short of Mulegé. Over the next few days, I'll be making my way down to La Paz, where I'm going to take the ferry over to Topolobampo or Los Mochis. And eventually, I will be going all the way to Playa del Carmen, which is where my house is. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to follow the rest of their journey to Argentina, at least so you can find it again. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.